Okay guys, I'm going on a trip for a week tomorrow and all 16 of my plants need to be alive when I come back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to literally drain them and drown them in water to make sure that they don't die on me. And that might seem overdramatic, but this is what you should be doing to your plants. So first step is I wanna make sure that their soil is dry before I drain them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab any type of finger, I'm going to dip my whole finger in the soil. My Monstera is wet because I watered her last week, so I'm not going to drain her. So if your soil is still wet, don't ever water your plants. That's a big no-no. That's the first step to killing your plant is overwatering. So we're not gonna touch her. I'll be gone for a week. I'll come back. Her soil will be fully dry. I'll be able to water her. She won't die because I just watered her a couple days ago. Moving on. Since the Monstera couldn't be drained because I watered it a week prior, I'm going to grab my Bird of Paradise. And this is kind of tricky because I've never done this with this guy because I just got him a couple weeks back, but I'm just going to take him out of its pot. I didn't repot him for this reason because plants need to be drained. Their roots don't receive all the water if you just dump water on top. So just gonna pick him up as so, and he's standing, that's his regular drainage pot. Now what we're gonna do is we're literally gonna go move him in the shower. I just have a regular water pitcher, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dump it in like so. And as you can see, I did cover my drain with at least like a clear tray because there is dirt that will go into your drain, and I try to prevent as much dirt going from the drain into the drain because it's really bad for the drain and your plumbing. From all of the men in my life that have said that, my dad, my husband, please don't get dirt in your drain because then we're gonna have plumbing issues. So when you water your plants in the shower, don't be like me. Try to cover your drain, try to prevent it so you don't have issues in the long run. So I only did one jug, and as you can see, we still have dry patches here, and I do want to clean his leaves just a bit. So what I will do is I'm going to turn him, and he's going to get a little shower. By doing this, we are preventing any pests, any dust on the leaves that have been gradually adding up. And I don't do this for long. I'll just, a little bit. And my shower kind of gets everywhere because I don't have a bath. So what I will do is I will fill up my jug one more time with water. And I'm going to give him a full drainage because he needs to have the soil run through water a couple of times. And it's totally okay. You might lose some soil. Not a big deal. The whole point of this is to make sure that your plant has been fully watered. A lot of people just put water like this, thinking, oh, I watered my plant. No, you didn't. You did not water your plant. You just basically teased her and making her think, oh, I'm gonna get more water. No, you're killing her. So what we're gonna do is we are making sure all the soil around the plant is getting water. There we go. So you're seeing the water go down. I want to ensure that it's fully been drained. And this is how you can for sure know that you have a good drainage soil, is when you put water in your pot. And do you see all the water that's being drained coming from the side of the holes? Because I have 5 drainage holes on the side through this pot, I will need to get a new drainage pot because the roots will outgrow this eventually. But that's how you know that I have a good drainage soil within this pot, because the water sunk through the pot right away. So that means that the roots are drinking water and it's good for it. So what I'll do, I'll drain the rest of my water. I'll move this to the side and bring my other plants. And her leaves are all clean. She'll sit here for a bit. I usually leave them about a day. So tomorrow we're flying out, so I'll take her in the morning, put her back in her pot. I won't have to water her probably for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I usually, like I said, check the soil with my finger. If it's wet, don't water it. If it's dry, that's how you know you're good to go to water. This might be dirty, but I mean, if you have plants, you need to take care of them. So the soil right here on top is dry, and I'm gonna kind of dig through. I'm gonna put my whole hand. Now I know, okay, it's not moist, and there's still some excess dirt on my hand, but I can feel that the dirt on the bottom's just a little bit wet. But since we're going on a trip, I want to make sure that I'm not going to kill him within that week. So we will drain all of the soil to make sure the roots on the bottom receive all of the water they can. So we're gonna take this to the shower. I'm in a predicament because whenever my husband's not here, I always want to do things by myself. So let's see if I can try to lift this by myself. Because I need him in the shower, you know what I mean. Oh, he's not that heavy. Oh, okay, we'll bring him to the shower. So since I'm gonna be gone for a week, I really wanna make sure that the soil is gonna be fully wet. Right now, it's like a little bit wet on the bottom, just like a little bit. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I could hold off maybe for a couple of days if I was gonna be in town, but since I'm gonna be gone for a week, I don't wanna kill it. Not that I would kill it, I don't wanna make its leaves like droop. What we're gonna do is I'm going to lift the leaves on the bottom. Might be hard to see this, but the main point I want to explain that I'm doing here is I'm going to go around the entire plant and I'm going to make sure that it's getting watered around the entire plant. So that was one jug, and as you won't be able to see this too much on camera, but I see that only this side has gotten water. The tree trunk hasn't even gotten water. So you need to be very vigilant here to make sure the whole pot gets water. That's what a lot of people don't do. They only water it sometimes, and maybe they might say that the top half is a little bit moist or one side. No, the whole pot needs to be drained. So this is what we're gonna do. This is the stick that's holding it, so this has nothing to do with the soil, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go right over here, and I'm gonna make sure, and over here, look down here, look down here. You can see that the water's already coming out. That's how you know that the water is making contact with the roots. It's coming out from the sides. That's why it's so good to have a lot of drainage holes, because I'm fully aware now that water made contact with the roots, which is really good. But the top part of the soil is a little bit dry, so I want to make sure these exposed roots, this is how I know I need to repot as well, is because there's so much exposed roots. And I need to put a better drainage soil, just because I do see it seeping down, but this is the soil that I bought. This is how I bought the plant at Home Depot, and I'm not sure what type of soil they were using, so I will reiterate the fact that you do need to make sure you have a good drainage soil. So I'm not sure that this soil is too good. I'm gonna grab one more jug of water to make sure that it gets a good soaking. Okay, I still see some dry spots, so one more jug. Just gonna, there's no special formula, guys. It's your sink water that makes your plants grow. I'm just kidding, I do add some fertilizer here and there. It's dry over here, so I'm watering over here. I'm making sure the middle got enough, and it goes straight to the sides. And it's gonna start, you'll start seeing it's coming out from that side. It's not really coming out too much from there, but I did see it come out from there. And their two roots are pushing more towards me, so I'm making sure that it's getting drained out on that side. That's it, guys. I'm gonna let it sit here for the rest of the night. It's gonna fully drain, and then I'm gonna make sure that it's not coming out of the bottom so I could put it back on the planks because I don't have a pot for it. This one's gonna sit in the shower too. Next, I'm going to water the pothos and all of my viney plants. Okay, this is so annoying because I have to bring a chair and then I have to like, oh, it almost fell. This is the tray that I was talking about. It's a clear tray. A little bit of water is on it. That means that it was draining, but it's okay. why I have a tray. Oh, I'm actually gonna take it with me. Okay, let's bring this beautiful guy to the sink. I totally screwed up. I just wasted my time bringing him to the bathroom. You know why? His soil is drenched. That means he doesn't need to be watered because I watered him not too long ago. That means that if I were to have watered him, he would have been overwatered and he probably would have slowly died. So, gotta bring this guy back to where he came from, and we're gonna grab the other guy. My first mistake with that is that I didn't check the soil before I brought it to the bathroom. So I'm not wasting my time and your time. What we're gonna do is I'm going to not fall here so I can show you guys. I really hope that his soil is dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab him. And I'm going to put my finger in his soil. He's dry. And this is the planter that I was talking about. It's super low. I haven't repotted him. So, gonna grab this guy. And we're gonna bring him to the sink. Let's go. Now that we're here, I'm like literally out of breath. I'm gonna take off his bottom part. And he still doesn't need to be repotted just yet. I can see some roots kind of coming out. But I'm just gonna drop him in here. Oh, he looks so glorious. I'm going to make like a crevice, and this is kind of where I clean him up. Sometimes he has like dead leaves here and there. That's totally okay. He's just shedding. What we're going to do is we are going to turn on the water and make sure it's not super ice cold because we don't want to give him a cold plunge. That's not what you want to do with your plants. You want to make sure the water is like a room temperature. And remember, I'm going to be gone for a week, so I want to make sure that his soil isn't going to dry up right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this water on. I'm going to make sure his soil is getting watered throughout, so the water is getting dispersed everywhere. But to make sure that his water is making it to the edges, I'm going to start tipping the pot like this. So the water is going, his soil is not good drainage soil, so I will need to put this water on a little bit. You see how the water's sitting up? That's how you know that it's not good drainage soil, because the water is not seeping through as quick. So what we're going to do is I also want to tip over the pot, make sure that it's getting, okay. And then over here, yep, it's wet over here. So we're just going to let that sit there. See how the water drained all the way through? There we go. Okay, and I'm going to turn him just a bit. I'm going to put on water for a little bit longer. Okay, the water is a little bit hot for him, so there we go. Let him sit like that at least for two more seconds. 1, 2, okay. He's gonna fully drain. You're gonna wait for the water fully drain, and I leave him here. And then in the morning, I'll just move him back to his spot. I'll put the lid back on, and he'll be set. He definitely needs to be watered, so I'm just gonna grab him as a whole like this and bring him to my sink. I'm running out of space, running out of sinks, really. So this is my laundry sink that I always water my Monstera in because it's a deep sink. I could just pick him off. This is his saucer. Kind of got stuck to it. And I put a paper towel on top of the saucer because the excess water can get picked up. So that's sometimes a good trick. If you feel like, oh, I overwatered, just put a paper towel and the roots will just kind of sink in. The paper towel will grab all the excess water. Okay, this guy has a drainage hole on the bottom of him. So what I'm gonna do is this sink really makes it easy. I'm gonna make sure the water is not too cold. I'm gonna pick this up and I'm going to go around the entire plant. because over here, and look at the bottom, look at the bottom. All of that is being drained, which is very good. That means his soil is super good. And I'm gonna put the water just a bit down. It's a little bit too hot for him. There we go. So I see that his leaves are a little bit dusty. So what I'm gonna do, oh, this might make a mess. Okay, you see how he's fully being drained and the water is just gushing out? This is a good sign. I'm gonna kind of just squeeze him over here. There we go. That's how you know he has a really good drainage system. And his leaves are a little bit dirty, so I'm just gonna wipe them. Get some dust off. I do a full cleaning on my leaves, just not today. This is just a watering episode. As you can see, my finger already has some excess dirt on it. I went ahead and I put my finger inside the soil and the soil is dry. So, gonna make a small crevice. Oh my gosh, I just realized I did something really stupid. I didn't take him out of his pot. I can't even take him out. This is a problem. And this is a problem because look what I just did. My husband can't know. Ah! Such a blonde moment. Okay, guys. So this is kind of a problem because I could barely take him out. Okay, so I finally got him out, and now I can see that he definitely needs to be repotted soon. But before I water him, I'm just gonna grab this excess dirt that I created in this sink area and just kind of move it, then turn on the water. Sometimes having plants is a little bit messy. To all the girls that just want a cute plant in their room, just know that you need to actually water him. So he's gonna get drained just a bit. There's not that much soil, so super simple with these little guys. That's it. It's my second YouTube video, and just to wrap up, we went ahead and watered all of them, so now they're going to be sitting for a whole week. Every single one of my 16 of my plants has been watered. If you didn't see one that was watered, it's because they were already watered a couple days ago, so I don't want to overwater them. So always check your soil with your finger before, or you can check them like if you don't want to get your fingernails dirty, use a glove. If there's dirt, a bunch of dirt that is on that glove, that's how you know you don't need to water it. If it's dry, your finger comes out clean, you're all good. So, in closing, I love you guys. Subscribe, like it, leave in the comments any questions that you have. I'll try to get to it. I as well have an Instagram that I'll link below, Crazy Plant Lady Amy. Please give that a follow and just DM me if you have questions. I love talking about plants, and let me know if I should get a plant in the future that you're like, oh my gosh, you would love this. Bye guys, love y'all.